Hello, welcome to the course of IPv6. So today we are going to discuss about routing. As in earlier lecture we have discussed about the various concept of routing, and now we will discuss about the routing tables, the entities that we will discuss in routing tables, the type of routes, static route, and there are static routing protocol and the dynamic routing protocol. So let's start with first, that is, what is routing table? So here the routing table is a set of rules which will determine where to route the packet in the internet protocol network. So here the every packet which that are traveling in the network will contain the IP address of the source as well as the destination device. So whenever the router in the network receive this packet, it will match the address with the information that will it contain in its routing table, and as it will match the addresses that is contained in the packet, then it will find the best route to the transfer the packet in the network. So here the routing table can be maintained dynamically or manually, that is, it can automatically attain the addresses from the packet and it will save it in the routing table, and in manually we will configure each of the IP address that is present in the network to the routing table of a router. So here the every router in a network will maintain the routing table. The next, the routing table entities. So here in IPv6, routing table entities are like IPv6 prefix and prefix length. It will contain the address, prefix and the prefix length. Next, it will determine the next hop address. It means the packet will move to the intermediate devices in the network, then it will contain the address of the next hop address to which it will travel to the next. So here the next it will contain the next hop interface. So it will contain the information about the next hop interface, that is the local interface of router that is used to reach the next hop address. The next matrix. Matrix is a number that will indicate total distance to the destination. How many intermediate devices to be covered by the packet to reach to the destination. After that, there is a timer that will give the amount of time since the information in routing table is last updated. So this will show the timer about the information in the routing table that is updated at which time. And last one, routing protocol use. So it will give the information about the which of the routing protocol we are using, like RIPNG, OSPFv3 or the BGP. So these are the routing this will give the routing protocol information. So next we will discuss how router will create a routing table. So here in a network, whenever a sender device sends the packet to the destination device, then this sender will add the IP address of a source as well as it will add the IP address of a destination. So then the packet will goes to the router, and here the router will examine the packet and it will find the IP address of the source as well as the destination, and it will match to the routing table of the router. So after matching this, after getting the perfect match, then it will determine the perfect route, that is the cost effective route to forward the packet in the network. So in this way it will create the routing table and it will add the IP address of source and destination in its own routing table. And here if any of the new device will add in the network, then router will update the routing table according to the IP addresses. And here the router thus the router updates their information which is contained in the routing table to get the effective routing. So this is how the router can create the routing tables. Next is type of route. So here the type of route is like static route. So here the static routes are configured manually by the network administrator. It means the network administrator will add the IP addresses of each devices that are present in the network to give a static route information. So here the whenever when any change in the network will occur, then network administrator will manually update the static route according to the changes, and it is used for the simple and a small network, and it is a more secure route. So here the routing is a process of selecting the best path in a network. So this will static routes will provide a best path to route a packet in the network. Next is the type of static route. So there are 4 types of static route. First one is directly attached IPv6 static route. So here a directly attached IPv6 static route is created when specifying only outgoing interface. It means that is used to transmit or send the packet in the network. So here the interface type number parameter will specify the interface through which the destination network can be reached. And here the IPv6 prefix and prefix length parameter indicate the destination IP network and its prefix length. After that, the fully specified IPv6 static route. Here what happened, a fully specified static route is created when specifying the outgoing interface and whenever we have to define the next hop IP address. Next is floating IPv6 static route. Here the floating static route is usually configured when there are multiple paths to the destination network, and here a standby backup route is required to support IGP discovered route. So here it will only be added to the routing table if the IGP entry is deleted. So here it will create the backup route to which we can forward the packet if any of our main route is deleted. So here the next static route is default IPv6 static route. So here the IPv6 has a default static route similarly to the IPv4, and it is determined as 0. And here the IPv6 command use the :/0 to define this default static route, and this will use whenever we don't define the source and destination IP address, then the packet will be given to the default static route. Now the next part is static routing protocol. So here a static route is a special route that is configured by the network administrator manually. So here the static routing is a type of network routing technique that use the manual configuration and select the network route. And static routing is not a routing protocol. Instead, it is a routing technique, and it is used where the network parameters and environment are expected to remain constant, and it is used in a small network. Whereas the dynamic routing protocol is used to find the best path to forward the packet to the destination, it will automatically update the routing table according to the changes in the network. So here the common protocol that use the dynamic routing protocols are RIP-NG, OSPFv3, ISIS and BGP, etc. So here the dynamic routing protocol can be divided into two parts, IGP and EGP. So IGP is the interior gateway protocol, whereas EGP is the exterior gateway protocol. Let's discuss about this. First one is IGP. So before discussing this, let's discuss about the autonomous system. So here the autonomous system is a collection of network that is managed by a single entity like INA or organization, and they follow different routing policies. So here in interior gateway protocol, here what happen, it is a set of routing protocol which are used within a one autonomous system, and here the example of these routing protocols are like RIP-NG, OSPF3 and ISIS. So it mainly search and calculate routes within an autonomous system that is defined by a single entity. The next one is exterior gateway protocol. Here in exterior gateway protocol, it is used to connect different autonomous system, and the example of this routing protocol used in this EGP is BGP. So here it is used to connect the various autonomous system present in the network, and it will control communication between the different autonomous system with routing policies and routing filtering mechanism. So this is about IGP and EGP. So this is all about the routing in IPv6. Thank you.